Hey guys, this is Nirupam from the Underwater Photography Guide and Bluewater Photo. Today we are live with Andrew from Mantis Sub. And for those of you that don't know, Mantis Sub is the world's first professional 8K stereoscopic VR underwater housing. It brings the Insta360 One and or Insta360 Pro and Pro 2 cameras underwater for professional level VR filming and photogrammetry applications as well. So with that, I'm going to let Andrew explain the Mantis Sub, and we have it here at Bluewater Photo.
Well, thanks, Nirupam. That's awesome. Yeah, welcome to. Really nice talking to you guys. So yeah, I'm Andrew from Mantis Sub. We're based here in Auckland, New Zealand, so quite a long way away from you guys. And yeah, really excited to show you this product that we've developed over the last 2 or 3 years. The Pro 2 has a couple of really cool features that make it particularly ideal for diving underwater. A couple of things. It's got 8K 360, but not only in monoscopic, but actually stereoscopic. So for any of those of you tried VR, it's quite an amazing experience, but if you can do it in stereo, it actually makes it a much more immersive experience. The camera's nice and compact. Actually have the physical camera here, and which means that the housing doesn't need to be ginormous. In the early days of VR, the cameras were absolutely massive. The housings were like the size of a car, and so we were really excited to develop this nice compact system that's easily managed by just an individual diver. The thing is just neutrally buoyant in the water. So again, one person can actually dive this. Sorry, it's disappearing into my background there. Yeah, one person can carry it, so it makes it a lot more easy to use than traditional VR housings. So what I've got to show you, I've got a couple of things I want to just quickly talk to you about, and show you some of the different applications that we can use this housing for. So what let me just pull it here. So what we've got, the first thing is you can actually use this housing just for shooting beautiful video. And the video that we can't be typically doing is things like in the tropics. I'm just going to pull this up. I'm just going to double check you can still see this. Let's check. Stand by. I realize I picked the wrong screen there. Here we go. So this footage here, just about to pause. This is 8K footage from a reef in Fiji. So right now you're probably just seeing a flat screen. That's nice, but nothing remarkable. But this is actually full 360. So I'm with my cursor. I'm just going to scan you around. So we're actually just dragging this around, and you'll see that we're fully engulfed. There's no noticeable stitch lines. If it's a little bit jerky, that's just my cursor. So this footage is actually incredible when you watch this in VR. If we go right up to the top, you'll see there's clean zenith, and even right below us, I placed the housing just on the reef, and you can see there's no visible pole or anything there. So it's a little bit of a taste of what you can do. But like I said, 8K, absolutely stunning photograph. And as you follow the fish around, they're not disappearing like some of them do. So we get a really clean. A clean stitch between the different files there. Now, so shooting beautiful video was the first thing that we designed it for, but we actually found there's a lot of really cool applications as well, which have meant the housing's been really popular. If you just stand by with me 1 second, I'm just going to show you one of the things that we did. Is that my business partner and I, Axel, were really keen cave divers and scuba divers. So we took our housing into a local cave in New Zealand. I'm just going to pull down our blog and just give you a bit of a story. So the cave is a sea cave. It's an ocean cave. We decided we just wanted to make a really nice video of the cave. So we took the camera and we swam it in, swam it out. But as we did this, we realized we were recording with 6 different lenses at 8K. So there's absolutely massive amounts of data. So we were able to actually take the footage and using software, make that into a model. And this is a still shot that I took. I was following Axel as safety diver, and just a still shot to give you an idea of the size of it. And so from that, we're able to use software to create an actual model of the actual dive. It's absolutely incredible. And so once we did that, I'm just we put it up on a site, so you guys are welcome to have a look at. So now I'm just going to jump onto the constructed site, and you'll see that we can actually move into this this cave. I'll just zoom in. I'll zoom out. Let's go zoom in. We can actually follow a journey into the cave, and so there's really ridiculous amounts of detail. And so we showed this to a few people, and everyone was quite interested. I'm just going to zoom out to show you the kind of scope of it. And we realized there's actually more to this than just making a cool feature for people to look on the desktop. So the next step that we did is we actually created a VR game. So the constructed site is actually really cool. For people who've dived this site, it was really exciting. But we actually built a VR simulator. Now, of course, this is just to give you guys an idea of what you can do with the footage that you take with the Mantis. And so this was just a sample where we created a fully immersive VR game, and we use it on Oculus. And of course, it's difficult to kind of demo it because the fact that there's because of the fact that it's actually a VR game. But this is just a video, like a demo that we shot, just kind of showing people how we use it. So there's some fat guy in a dive shot, which is me in the corner, playing it, and then what I can actually see. So I'm going to skip you on a little bit and show you. We actually created, this is just a bit of fun really, but this whole cave is the site that we actually filmed. I'm just going to skip on a little bit, and you'll see that we've got some fun details, like we put in some scooters in there so we can actually swim into the cave. So jumping on a little bit more, you'll see we're actually scootering into the cave. So this is actually a VR game, but it's real. It's a proper cave with absolutely every detail.
Sorry to stop you there, but it actually wasn't showing the game itself when you were playing. Okay.
So we're just on. What do you see at the moment?
Oh yeah, now we got it. Yeah.
Oh, you can. Okay, maybe I just did full screen. So yeah. So this is it's just a sample of the game. So it's absolutely amazing. But what it kind of demonstrates is the fact that by just shooting VR, you can really use the footage for whatever reasons you like. You can either use it to just show people, give them an immersive experience, or use it for photogrammetry, and which then can lead on to using that model for other purposes. So we're really excited to see what people can do with this, particularly in caves and shipwrecks. Anything that's sort of a structure that you're going to go inside. Traditional photography and videography can do photogrammetry externally, but internally it's a lot harder. So this is a really good tool for that. So what we've also got is we can actually do live streaming with this system as well. The image on my screen at the moment, this is just our setup with a 60-meter Ethernet cable, which is 180 feet. And so for people wanting to inspect the ocean without necessarily putting a diver down, this is a really good option. And we've used this system for survey work, for commercial applications into dangerous environments or very tight environments. But this has also been expanded to allow us to actually take people onto very extreme depths. This orange cable here is a fiber optic cable. So this is now our deep rig. So we can actually send the data up to the surface using fiber optics. What's special about that is with some special, the camera actually pre-stitches the footage. So you can actually watch live in 360. Just to take it one step further, Mantis developed the app for the Oculus, so it means you can actually watch the live footage in VR, actually on goggles as opposed to on a flat screen. And so this application was developed for a client who set as the target of being able to take this onto a very deep shipwreck, and he wanted to see what was happening live, but he wanted to watch it from his boat as opposed to be in the water. So when we did some tests, there's on our website, there's a behind the scenes video of how we set this up. There's a screenshot of the app that we did, but we have a video showing us about this. But what I just want to quickly show you is the live footage. We did a test shot on a shipwreck in New Zealand called the Canterbury. We placed the camera in the ship's bridge, and then if we can just start playing this, you can see that we we've just got a live action, but again, it just does look very exciting until you realize that this is actually a full VR, a full 360 inside the shipwreck. The lights are, we're shooting the behind the scenes, so the camera's there, and then we took the camera outside as well. So you can actually get a really immersive experience of the wreck. So for those of us who are shipwreck divers, it's all too familiar, but for people who've never experienced this, it's a bit more real than just watching a still photo. So again, this is really exciting, but this whole time, we actually had a cable going up to the surface. You can see that some of the safety divers were just above us there. And the guys on the surface were actually watching this on the tender in VR. So actually absolutely amazing.
I just wanted to reiterate for the scientific people out there. So what was the depth rating again for the Mantis Sub, and how far can that cabling go? Because I think that's like really important when it comes to scientific application.
Yeah, so as a standard, the Mantis Sub housing is rated to 90 meters, so about 270 feet. We do have a slightly deeper version, which just takes us just over 300 feet. But the actual fiber cable, you can go up to 20 kilometers, so 20,000 meters. So that's a lot of miles. It's yeah, massive distances, but depth is, the housing is limited. We've done some tests for this. We took one down to 900 feet, but it didn't survive. So we don't encourage customers to do that.
Yeah, but
so out the box, 270 is the depth rating.
Yeah, 20 miles is really quite amazing, though. I mean, I can imagine. Yeah, it could be incredible watching footage from that far.
Yeah, and yeah, it's really quite cool. So so the questions that get asked often for when we're doing these long or deep or expeditions are things like, is the temperature, is that a problem? Well, the answer is no. Obviously, it's aluminium. It's a really small, compact space, and yeah, it manages to sink the heat out really nicely. Some of our early housings were over to the tropics in very warm water, and are functioning absolutely fine. They do struggle a bit out the water. The cameras do get quite hot, but in the housing it works. And then for power, the internal battery on the cameras gives about an hour of filming. We have the Mantis controller can give you another 20 minutes of power built in. For people needing much more extended filming, we actually developed a power connector which just plugs into a standard technical diving canister light. So you've got capability of just plugging in wet connectors to extend that, or even surface powered if you use a hybrid cable as well, hybrid power over Ethernet cable. So loads and loads of options in that situation. One of the other areas where we've just been trying this, and again, if I can just pull up my page first and then get it ready for you, is we took this into quite a tight space in a cave. So this came over to Australia, and we did some cave diving. So this was, here we go. Can you see that, Nirupan?
Yep. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, cool. So this is a Pines cave in Mount Gambier, South Australia. So this is really quite it's a relatively tight cave, and you can see here we're not trying to hide the fact that the divers on there. This actually is me. One of the few times I dive open circuit, but we just carry like a carbon pole which just sits beneath the housing. And again, it's a little bit difficult to get the full experience on a flat screen, but when you watch this in VR, you're actually in the cave, and you're absolutely there, and you're experiencing these beautiful limestone caves just as you would if we're there. So again, it's one of those places that we're going to go a little bit more often and get some more footage for sure. But it just opens up more opportunities for people. A couple of trade shows I've shown divers that've seen this, and it's blown their socks up. So there's a lot of interest from the cave diving community already. We've got a few real high-profile divers using them already, and we're really looking forward to seeing their results.
Awesome. And so when it comes to underwater lighting, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, because I know all of you out there know that if you don't have lights, everything kind of looks a little blue. So how do you get the nice colors coming back out in your VR setup? So Andrew, did you want to talk a little bit about how the lighting works?
Yeah, sure. It's quite an important thing. Now, some of the shallow dives, there's enough ambient light to make it look fantastic. So, for instance, the Fusiliers I showed you on the Fiji image was just natural light. But when we're going a bit deeper, we definitely do need the light for the colors. Now, the challenge for 360 is you can see everything. So this thing, you know, if you just put a light on top, you're going to see it. So we've developed a special rig, which actually is a vertical pole, and it attaches. We actually some custom mounts, so we can fit six solar 3800 dome lights on there, and it creates like a corkscrew of light which sits on top. It's quite a unique thing, and it just sits above, and it just means you've got light in every single direction, up, down, and all axis. But the great thing is, it's because it's so narrow, it projects light everywhere, but it's very easy to remove that in post production because it's just a hot spot just above you. And so that's one of the options, which is a really good add-on. A lot of people buy this and perhaps think they can get away without using light, but it's a really popular upgrade. Certainly one of the challenges of VR, but we've tried to make a plug and play option, and so that's going to be available from Bluewater as well. It took a lot of trial and error. We've experimented with lights below, above, a bit of combination, but for most shooting applications, the 6 compact, powerful video lights is a really nice one. For survey work, we can get away with the big, powerful Pro 15,000 solars as well, and even they can be mounted below if you don't mind actually being able to see them. But yeah, if you're trying to hide the lights, then it's all about making them small but punchy.
Nice.
Yeah.
And did you want to talk a little bit about that controller that you guys invented for the housing itself?
So inside the housing is it's a smart housing. So there's actually a controller in there. The camera is quite complicated, and so our controller allows you guys just to have one push button start recording. It monitors the state of the camera as well, so you can see with a color coded LED what the camera state is, confirms the vacuum is there. And also it actually puts it into it puts it into settings that are specifically suitable for diving straight away, because again, the cameras are developed for above water initially, by Insta360. So we've kind of made it so it's much easier to use for the operator. And then the next thing is when you've actually plugged it all in, you can hook your telephone. Again, it's a disappearing telephone with a background. Hook your telephone up to it via Wi-Fi and double check all your settings. You can even get a live view of a Wi-Fi view of what it's recording. Change all your ISOs if you need to, and shutter speed, and white balance. And you can kind of set all that up from the app, which is much easier to use than it is to trying to do it on a tiny little screen on the camera. So yeah, the controller is a real coup for us. It's something that took a lot of development, and it's actually like a mini computer in there. This also manages temperature, it manages the vacuum, and it just makes life much easier. The power management and temperature management is quite important. So that also allows you to go for the live stream and stuff. So yeah, we're really proud of it. Some that if you don't notice it's there, then it's done a really good job. But it's actually something that's it's a huge achievement, really.
Great. So one thing that I did kind of want to reiterate about the Mantis Sub and VR in general, if you haven't seen dive footage in VR, it's really hard to show or know what it feels like to be in it. But just having that experience, I had that experience with Andrew when we were at DEMA this year. And when I saw some of the 3D stereoscopic imagery, it really felt like I was diving. And there was one clip in particular that Andrew showed me of a whale swimming by. And I have had one experience diving with a whale. It's actually right behind me. It felt like that experience. I mean, it was incredible. I felt the same way I did when that whale was with me in real life. And it's pretty amazing how far this system goes towards being a replication of reality. So that's always just important to think about if you are thinking about using VR applications for anything. And then, the camera is really designed for scientific, military, and other technical applications out there, because it does things that you can't really do with other tools, like photogrammetry and combined spaces. I mean, that's a really, really cool thing to do, especially if you're a wreck diver, or into caves or anything like that. So, Andrew, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about when it comes to the Mantis Sub?
Oh, I could sit here talking for hours and hours and hours, but yeah, you probably don't want to hear me waffling on. But no, I appreciate the opportunity to show you. But yeah, the number of opportunities for this thing, for owners of this thing, is absolutely vast. And we developed it for one or two reasons, and it's just every time we sell one to different people, we're just finding there's wider scope for it. So yeah, so you're absolutely right. The immersive footage is absolutely breathtaking. It's a pleasure showing people as well, because you're a diver, you're a serious diver, and for you to be amazed is really cool. But imagine showing someone who's never dived before as well. So for anyone in the in the diving world and wanting to share this, showing a beautiful photo is absolutely amazing. But actually letting them be in there, even if it's only for a couple of minutes, is it's an absolute humbling experience to share what we absolutely love. And so yeah, it is. We don't think this is going to take over the world and replace fantastic photography and videography, but it's just another tool to get a really unique point of view. So yeah, we're really excited to bring this out. We've been in the market for a couple of years, so we do have these now in, I think, in all continents of the world. But we're a small boutique company, so yeah, we really appreciate working with Bluewater Photo. It's absolutely fantastic relationship, and we look forward to working with you over the next few years.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. So for those of you that are thinking about getting into this, you should know that you will need an Insta360 Pro 2 or an original Pro, and you'll want an Oculus headset so that you can actually view the footage in VR. Now, if you guys have any questions at all about the Mantis Sub, feel free to drop them in the comments below, or you can reach out to us at sales@bluewaterphotostore.com. If you're live on Facebook with us, you can actually send us a message at the Underwater Photography Guide or at Bluewater Photo. Now, over the next few months, we'll be sharing some more applications with you guys, writing some articles about the Mantis Sub and what you can do with VR. And from there, we might have some exciting new products up in store for you guys as well. So, keep up to date with us. We'll have a newsletter going out. Subscribe to our newsletter, and you'll learn more about the Mantis Sub. And thanks very much, Andrew, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. And so, yeah, look forward to seeing you out there diving.
Yeah, me too. All right, see you guys.
Bye.